Good morning. I'm taking a short trip to Irvine Beach Park today where you might just see a dragon. Welcome to Irvine train station, the worst exit of any train station in Scotland. Looks onto a car park in the side of a shopping centre. But this walk should get nicer. This is Irvine harbourside. I had this little bit of the walk in the previous video. That nice wee building, is it a cafe or is it a pub? Can't remember. Yeah, Irvine Beach Park is at the end of the harbour side here, so it's about a 10-minute walk. Really nice buildings. Not everywhere in Irvine is nice, but the harbour's nice. Nice wee boozer. You've all these lovely wee side streets off the harbour side. These wee cute buildings. And the museum. I forget the name of that museum. It's no shipping museum, I think. All those houses up there. It's very nice. That old building. In fact, it's not even that old. I heard somewhere that was only built in 1990. But look at that compared to all the horrible square boxes you get for flats these days. Nice building, isn't it? Maritime Museum, Scottish Maritime Museum. That's the name of it. It's a cracking old building. What a building. I love these old industrial buildings with the red bricks. It's hard to believe that's modern flats. Honestly, there's another YouTuber I saw talking about those flats. I don't know if it's true, but it's nice to think at some point in the recent past there was an architect trying to design nice buildings that were just to be flats instead of the horrible glass monstrosities you see today. I could quite happily live in one of these wee houses. Well, I know there's a lot of cracks in front of the buildings though. That can't be good. See a crack right in the front there, around that window. I like to live here but no in a cracked building. Oh, it's a frosty morning, but it's a beautiful morning. What an absolutely superb view. The last time I came here I walked from Kilwinning all the way down past the river to here, and it was a miserable day. Unlike today where you can just see for miles and miles and miles. Gorgeous. Birds down there with huge big gullets, don't know what they are. Looks like they're fishing though. One of them's a swan, the other two aren't. Just over there, there's a bridge that leads across to that building over there, which is a museum. But the bridge has got a big hole in the middle, so you can't access it from this side. It really is something that should be repaired. They've just been left to ruin like that. Morning. This is one of the parts of Irvine that I do actually like. Some of it is less appealing. And you see when you get off at the train station, that's where they built the new town back in the 60s, and it's Spaghetti Junction. An absolute mess, horrible to walk about. I'm not a fan of shopping centres with massive car parks. I like a good high street, which sadly seems to be no more. If I was a town planner, I'd knock down every shopping centre and force shops back into the high street. Are they doing a bit of fishing? Or the coast guards? Not entirely sure. So I used to come down here a fair wee bit. And it is nice here, as I've said many a time. Marina View Guest House. The Harbour Arts Centre. Alright mate, you're a bit short. So's your pony. Ship Inn. One of the oldest pubs in the land. I thought that was closed down. Maybe it is. They used to do a mean steak pie in there. But I'm not sure if that's still closed. Maybe somebody that lives in these parts could let me know. Because if it's reopened and they're doing good food, I might just need to come down here sometime. I can see a light on inside. I expect I'm going to see loads of dog walkers down here. Of course, it's no dogs I've came here for. It's the dragon. You're probably thinking dragons don't exist. Well, there's a dragon on this beach. It's a wee stone, well, it's quite a big stone carved dragon. So I bet you if you've got children, they absolutely love it. So it's somewhere in this beach park. I just can't remember exactly where. There's a nice little wee cafe there. Organic coffee, bakery, kitchen. The Rambling Rose. It's a bit rusty. Tell you what, on a still day like today, this is absolutely beautiful. You know, and I can see my breath in front of me because it's so cold, but the sun's also warming the place up. I'm starting to overheat. I need to take the bonnet off. Oh, that's a good view, isn't it? Doubt the Rambling Rose ever leaves its dock there. I might be wrong, but it looks a bit past its prime. And there's that museum across the water. And the broken bridge. I don't know why that's never been fixed. Maybe the council is just a bit skint, but it just seems like such a silly thing to not fix when you're 10 minutes walk from the train station, and if you could cross that bridge or over at that museum, instead of having to drive away around the other side. Madness. I think it's a museum. I'm sure it's a museum. I knew somebody who worked in it for a while. Unless it isn't a museum anymore, I don't know. But anyway, that's the beach park to my left there. There's a few paths go through it, so I'll just meander through the place. This is quite a short walk, so I'm in no hurry to sprint from A to B. Take a slow wander. See a sign there that says Harbour Peninsula Regeneration. I've definitely not regenerated that bridge. There's a lot of names on that. I don't know if it comes out in the camera, but the banister at the opposite side of the bridge is captains Napier, Watt, Black, Murdoch, Telford, Simpson, McMillan. My eyesight isn't good enough to see the rest. I wonder who they are. Probably old wealthy businessmen of old, or scientists. James Watt maybe. Don't know. That's unfortunate. There's some sort of construction going on here. Are they building a new car park? I don't think we need more car parks in the world. Steps missing there, but with all the seaweed, the water must come up quite high. There's a small river that I just walked up alongside, but to the left of that broken bridge is the River Garnock, which comes all the way from Dalry down to here. So I guess this right here would also be considered the River Garnock. I think at one point they've had all these ships tethered here. A relic of Scotland's industrial past. It's likely never to return. There's one reason why the workmen are here, renovating this old building. No idea where it was. Looks like a Coast Guard station, maybe. This will look like a spot in the horizon, but there's the Isle of Arran in its entirety across the water there. Kind of low at that side, and you see the mountains at the opposite side. Scotland in miniature. Mountainous to the north. Not quite as mountainous to the south, but still lovely to the south. I'm not the only person with the camera out. If you look down to the end of this walkway, and just slightly to the left on the horizon, you'll see a small island. That's Ailsa Craig, or as it's colloquially known, Paddy's Milestone. think there was a legend that apparently it was equidistant between the points of land surrounding it, and a giant called Paddy would use it as a stepping stone. And if that old fable is wrong, feel free to correct me. I've got all these places. Pointing the direction. Porto in Portugal, 881 miles. Buenos Aires, Argentina, 6,172. Caracas, Venezuela, 3,947. I don't think you're going to get much further than Buenos Aires. Hong Kong, China, 5,196. Oh, I take it back. Sydney, Australia, 9,159. Cape Town, 5,500. Morning. Right, so if I followed the beach up, there should be a turn up onto the sand dunes, which is where the beach park is. But I can't remember exactly where the turn is, so I think what I'll do is I'll head up to the sand dunes first. The only thing is, I don't know how I got up with all these works going on. Where is the path up? Maybe that wee chatty old woman in front of me knows where she's going. I might follow her. She's heading towards them. See, I believe there's a boating pond in here. I've only ever been to it once, so my recollection of it isn't very strong. I don't know if I can go up there. That big digger. If I kind of turn up to the right here, I think I'm going to do an about turn. Oh no, these people are going up to the right, I think might be okay. If in doubt, follow a local in a non-creepy way. Oh, what's going on there? They are building stuff for children. That looks like another dragon they're building. Some sort of, a skate park maybe? Or a crazy golf. What's the wee hilly bits? I think it might be a skate park. And a slide. That dragon looks like a slide. There's been a lot of rain the past few days, so it's a wee bit soggy here. Plus you've got I think this is a new road that maybe these diggers have made through the dunes. You've got all this sand piled up at the side. That's definitely all new. I can't remember, is that the boating pond at the other side of these works? I don't know. It's not ideal having all this new stuff here because none of it's on a map. And it's probably dead easy to find where you're going if you know the area well. And you walk here every day, but I don't. So I think we'll just cut across here because the new built track looks a mess. Can I go through there? Aye, let's do that. I see a cycle track here in the sand, so. There's a boating pond there. How could I have doubted how to find it? We've got tarmac now, so that's good. There we go. Say boating pond, there's not a single boat in it. There's a lovely new bench there. Maybe I'll just sit there for 5 minutes, have a drink of water, look out at the view, check my map to see where this stone dragon is, because it's somewhere up in those dunes. Another memorial bench. There's always plaques in these benches. How about that, Just sit here and chill out. Really need more places like this in every town. It's easily accessible. And obviously I'm getting turned about with no sense of direction because my map is pointing me up here. There's the sea again. Once I start following these paths through the dune, you get no sense of direction. The stone dragon should be up here. just keep following this path. Ah, there's the beach. It's an absolutely glorious view. That looks like the stone dragon up there at the top of that hill. It's actually good to come here in the morning out with summer. This is where all the youths congregate in sunny summer evenings, which would make it a whole lot less pleasant to walk. But at this time of the year and at this time of day, it's gorgeous. Oh, I just arrived. There's a woman with a child approaching the dragon, which means I'm going to have to put my camera away. I think I'm going to stand here, film for a bit, and hopefully they'll go away. So I think I can follow that path around there and up to there, because that's a viewpoint, so I'm going to do that. In fact, I'm not going to do that, I'm going to go straight up the hill and save me walking around the path. And hopefully, by the time I get up this hill and loiter about for 5 minutes, that woman will have left the dragon with a wee toddler and I can go and film it. Oh, what a view. What a view. What a view. Apart from the big ugly factory over there, it's just a belter of view. What a panorama. There's Arran. Paddy's Milestone to the left. And further down the coast towards Troon to the left. Yeah, and speaking of Troon, I was just looking at all the walks I've done the past 6 months or so, or since last June. And I've almost completed a walk all the way from Johnston to Prestwick, not in the one day, separate stages, because I've done, just last week or the week before, I did Johnston to Lochwinnoch, I've done Lochwinnoch to Kilbirnie and Glengarnock, I've done Glengarnock to Dalry, I've done Dalry to Kilwinning from the opposite direction. I've done Kilwinning to Irvine, where I am just now. I haven't done from Irvine down the coast to Troon, but I have done from Troon down to Prestwick as well back in the summer. So if I do Irvine to Troon, that means I'll have done all the way from Johnston through to Prestwick, which is before I started doing all these walks I didn't even realise that could be walked, but it could be. And if you're younger, fitter and a bit of a fitness fanatic, you could do that all in one day. I mean, it'd probably take you about 8 or 10 hours, but you could do it. I'm too old for that malarkey. But probably you can go even further. I mean, where's past Troon? Is it Ayr that's the next stop maybe? Or Newton in Ayr? So I think now that I realise that I've done all those walks, I'm going to have to fill in this gap between Irvine and Troon and maybe look to doing between Troon and Ayr or whatever's in between. And I have walked from Paisley to Johnston in the past, and I've done Glasgow to Paisley in the past, but neither of those are particularly nice walks. You're just walking down busy old streets, particularly from Paisley to Johnston. You can walk the cycle track a part of the way, but then you're just walking past a lot of ugly old buildings and it's not very pleasant. And maybe I should just do it to create a playlist, turn it into one big long playlist from Glasgow to Ayr. It's a thought, isn't it? Right, back down this hill and try not to slip. Some old fella was talking to me there. And he says the sun looks more garish these days. I believe it's all the microplastics in the atmosphere. I mean, I don't know if that's a conspiracy theory, but there we go. Oh, I don't believe it. Just I'm walking up to the stone dragon. There's more people coming up to it. Honestly, the only way I'm going to get this dragon to myself is if I become a Targaryen. That'll be a long tail all the way around to the head. Some view right over the side. Yeah. And so I've got a choice heading back around there, which I assume takes me to the boating pond down along the beach. Aye, that's good. That family and the wee boy are finally away, which is kind of awkward. I saw them walking away when I was sitting on top of that other hill, and I thought, great, they're going. And as soon as I started walking up, turned out they were meeting, or the woman and their boy was meeting. It looks like their granddad, and they came back to the dragon. But anyway, I'll try and film it in all its glory. So there's its tail there. You see it goes all the way in and around. Actually quite cool. I can understand why the children like it. Some view back to the hill I was on, down the coast. If I go back along that path, I'm going to end up at the boating pond there. So I think what we'll do is we'll go along the beach for a bit and double back. Because you've got to get down by the water. I'm not going to do the beach just yet. I'm just going to walk around here, follow this path. I think it brings me out at the boating pond again. Then I'll circle the boating pond and maybe head back down to the beach. Tell you what, it's a warm day now. It's, that sun's got a fair bit of heat in it. The frost is gone and I'm well wrapped up as well. Time to strip. All these sand dunes everywhere. Yeah, a wildlife haven. Other side of the boating pond. I keep calling it a boating pond. I'm pretty sure that's what it says in the map. But it doesn't seem to have any boats. So calm. Very peaceful down here. I think the Irvine harbourside is another one of these places I could quite happily live, because you've got a train station on your doorstep, you've got a bunch of shops outside the train station, as ugly as it looks, but they're there, and you've got the coast, this big beach park all nearby. It's just such a nice location. I mean, I'm originally from Paisley and I'm trying to think, is there anywhere in Paisley that can match something like this? And you've got the Gleniffer Braes, but it's just a big massive housing estate sitting at the bottom of the Braes. You're a fair trek away from the train station as well, so not ideal for a non-driver like me. But I look at all these places, I can't afford to move anyway, but it'd be nice to actually live somewhere that's You know, it's got the scenery, it's got the outdoors nature, but it also has the shops and the train station nearby, and probably Irvine Harbourside covers all of that. You are a long way from Glasgow though, that's the only down point. I mean, there's not much in Irvine in terms of nightlife or anything like that, so if I was young, this is the last place I would want to live. But still, I'm no young, and I would quite happily stay here. When water frozen, keep off ice. Okay. Wee dog's away into the water to get its ball. Right, I'm cutting over here to try and get to the beach, and I'll follow the beach back towards the harbour side and the train station. Just need to find a way across these sand dunes. So this is me heading back towards the Dragon. Obviously I want to get onto the beach. I went my backside there, but not quite. Let's get down to the sea. Nice clean beach this. I'm going all the way down to the water. If I can get through this wet looking bit without soaking my feet. It should be okay, I think. It's solid. What a cracking beach though, so clean. No rocks on it, all sand. It's lovely. And Arran just across the water there, as I've already pointed out on more than one occasion. This tide looks like it's coming in. Come further up here. And that wee channel I walked across is filling up. It's lovely though. I'll just follow it along. In fact, I'm going to have to get across this wee channel again, just in case it comes up quicker than I realise and I can't get across. I think it's coming in. Maybe that's my imagination. This wee channel here is lower, so if that fills up, I'd be sprinting through water, but the water's definitely coming up here further. There we go. Oh, that's lovely. So few people on the beach. It's just relaxing sounds of the gentle waves. This could take all your stresses away. Look at how clear that water is. Crystal clear, absolutely nothing in it. I don't think I can get a better spot than this to end the video. Oh, I'm heating up nicely. It's turned into an absolutely gorgeous, quite warm day next to the relaxing water. What more do you need? So, aye, I'm just going to head back towards the end of the beach and back to where the sand dunes started. So you've already saw that bit of the walk. I just want to say thanks for watching today, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheerio now.